The Black Political Caucus of Charlotte is trying to put a pause on the largest transportation project in North Carolina history. The group is filing a request for a temporary restraining order against the I-77 expansion project, which would create new lanes above the existing highway from Uptown to the South Carolina state line. A state transportation spokesperson says the department is committed to listening and working closely with the community about this project. Let's bring in Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes. Khalif, what would a temporary restraining order do?
It would stop it. It pauses it. The court is telling the organization or the state at this moment to stop what you're doing. That's what the Black Political Caucus is asking. And so I can speak from being the former chair of the Black Political Caucus, what that looks like on the inside. But I also can speak to, as an attorney that's filed injunctions, temporary and permanent and preliminary, what that looks like. As the chair of the caucus, something like this would have been brought in by the body, their democratic process. It would have been voted on, and the body decided that this is something that they wanted to do. The membership mostly made up of elected officials, which is a unique situation. But with this standard, it's pretty clear. It can't just be community outrage. It needs to be a violation of the legal standard. And the standard is pretty clear. Likelihood of success on the merits, irreparable harm, balancing of the equities in this public policy. Does the public policy support stopping a project like this? Is irreparable harm, and that's probably going to be key. Can you throw money at it to fix this? If they can throw money at it, the court's not going to give an injunction. Why? Because that's an extraordinary relief. The court doesn't want to give an injunction. They want to typically have a case be resolved on its own or have something go as it's supposed to. An injunction saying, hey, do something that you're not typically supposed to do and pause this from happening. So high burden, high extreme standard, but if they can show irreparable harm, they can show likelihood of success on the merits, the court will stop and pause this from happening.
And can you explain the court process to obtain this order?
I mean, they're going to have to go in there and be able to show, again, not just community outrage, not just frustration, but a number of things. First, that there's a disparate impact on the African-American community, and that there was a failure to look for any type of meaningful alternative. They can also argue maybe some Title VI violations, some state administrative law violations. They can show that North Carolina Department of Transportation rushed the process, lacked transparency. There's a number of things that they can point to while attempting to get a temporary restraining order. But on the other side, the Department of Transportation can say, we have statutory authority. The General Assembly has granted us this authority to do this explicitly, to plan highways. Federal and state funding lined up for this. Years of environmental work deciding on how this will go. And this isn't something that happened overnight. This was 10 years in the making. So this was something that we planned. Folks knew that this was going to occur. And now when we're right here getting ready to launch this, now you're saying you want us to stop. So they'll be able to make a number of arguments. And then they'll say to the injunctive standard, listen, whatever happens, if someone's house is torn down, if a neighborhood is removed, their argument will be money can fix it. But the Black Political Caucus will point to past history, what happened in a number of neighborhoods in Charlotte, that money didn't fix it, that you can't throw money at neighborhoods and churches being moved that destroyed communities and families.
Quickly, could this lead to a judge eventually striking down this project?
I mean, ultimately it could. You're asking for a temporary injunction. If a judge grants that, there will be a later preliminary or permanent injunction. If the permanent injunction is granted, yes, it could stop it completely.
Thanks, Khalif.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.